Barack Obama is a transformative figure who inspired millions with his vision and eloquence, said Oprah Winfrey. Born in Hawaii, Obama rose from a community organizer to the 44th President of the United States, serving 2 terms from 2009 to 2017. His leadership emphasized hope, unity, and progress, earning him a Nobel Peace Prize. Through challenges and triumphs, his words continue to resonate. Let's dive into the 10 most powerful quotes from Barack Obama that inspire and captivate. Quote 1. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. This quote from Barack Obama is a powerful clarion call, encapsulating his belief in the agency of individuals to drive transformation. Its importance lies in its universal relevance. It challenges passivity and empowers people to take ownership of their destinies. Spoken during his 2008 presidential campaign, it ignited a movement rooted in hope and collective action, resonating with millions who yearn for progress in a divided world. Its enduring strength comes from its simplicity and urgency, urging us to act now rather than defer to an uncertain future. The quote's meaning is layered and profound. At its core, it rejects the notion of waiting for a savior or a perfect moment to enact change. Obama emphasizes that transformation is not a distant event handed down by others. It is a responsibility that rests with us, here and now. The phrase, "We are the ones we've been waiting for," is particularly evocative, drawing on a sense of destiny and empowerment. It suggests that ordinary people, with their collective will and determination, are the catalysts for progress. This was a radical message in a political landscape often dominated by cynicism, where many felt powerless against systemic issues like inequality, injustice, or division. Obama's words reframe the narrative: "You are not helpless, you are the solution." He invokes a sense of urgency, implying that delays, whether out of fear, doubt, or complacency, only perpetuate the status quo. The quote also carries a communal spirit, emphasizing "we" over "I," reminding us that change is a shared endeavor, amplified by unity. To unpack this further, consider the context of Obama's rise to prominence. As a community organizer turned senator, he witnessed firsthand how grassroots efforts could shift the tide. His campaign, built on the slogan, "Yes, we can," embodied this ethos, mobilizing diverse groups to believe in their collective power. The quote reflects his philosophy that change is not top-down but bottom-up, driven by individuals who refuse to wait for permission or ideal conditions. It challenges the inertia that often grips societies, where people hope for a leader, a policy, or a moment to solve their problems. Instead, Obama insists that the power lies within us, ready to be unleashed through action. This message transcends politics. It applies to personal growth, community building, and global challenges. Whether addressing climate change, social justice, or personal aspirations, the quote reminds us that waiting is not a strategy, acting is. What lessons can you draw from this quote in your own life? First, embrace your agency. You don't need to be a president or a global figure to make a difference. Small, intentional actions, volunteering, speaking up, or organizing in your community can ripple outward. For example, if you see an injustice at work or in your neighborhood, don't wait for someone else to address it. Your voice, your initiative, can spark change. Second, reject perfectionism. The quote implies that the right time is a myth. If you're waiting for confidence, resources, or approval, you're delaying your potential. Start where you are, with what you have. Third, build community. Obama's "we" underscores the power of collaboration. You can amplify your impact by connecting with others who share your vision. Join a local group, start a conversation, or support a cause. Together, you're unstoppable. Finally, act with urgency. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. Whether it's pursuing a dream, repairing a relationship, or tackling a societal issue, the time to move is now. You are the one you've been waiting for, equipped with the passion and potential to shape your world. This quote also inspires resilience. Change is rarely easy, it often meets resistance, doubt, or setbacks. Yet Obama's words encourage you to persist. If you're working toward a goal, be it personal growth, career advancement, or social good, don't let obstacles convince you to wait for a better day. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Consider the civil rights movement, which Obama often referenced. Activists didn't wait for society to be ready. They marched, spoke, and organized, knowing they were the ones to carry the torch. You, too, can adopt this mindset, refusing to let fear or uncertainty hold you back. In a world that can feel overwhelming, this quote is a reminder of your power. You don't need to change the entire world overnight, but you can change your corner of it. Start a project, mentor someone, advocate for a cause, whatever aligns with your values. Obama's message is clear. The future isn't something that happens to you, it's something you build. By acting today, you become part of the we that drives history forward. So, don't wait for another person or another time. You are ready, and the moment is now. Quote 2. The audacity of hope is believing in the promise of America, even when the odds seem stacked against us. This quote from Barack Obama, drawn from his 2004 Democratic National Convention speech and later the title of his book, is a cornerstone of his legacy, encapsulating his vision of resilience and optimism. Its importance lies in its ability to inspire unwavering belief in possibility, even in the face of adversity. It resonates as a rallying cry for those who dare to dream beyond limitations, making it a timeless message of courage and faith in a better future. The phrase, "the audacity of hope," is striking for its boldness. Audacity implies a fearless, almost defiant attitude, while hope suggests a quieter, steadfast belief in what could be. Together, they form a powerful paradox. Hope is not passive dreaming but an active, courageous choice to believe in progress despite daunting challenges. The promise of America refers to the nation's foundational ideals: equality, opportunity, and justice for all. Obama acknowledges that these ideals are not always fully realized, as history and present struggles show, yet he calls for belief in their potential. The phrase, "even when the odds seem stacked against us," recognizes the reality of obstacles, whether systemic inequalities, economic hardship, or political division. Rather than succumbing to despair, Obama urges us to embrace hope as an act of defiance, a refusal to let cynicism win. This message was particularly poignant in 2004, when Obama, then a relatively unknown senator, spoke to a nation grappling with war, economic uncertainty, and cultural divides. His words galvanized listeners, framing hope as a radical, transformative force that could bridge divides and inspire action. Delving deeper, the quote reflects Obama's personal and political philosophy. Raised by a single mother in modest circumstances, he faced his own odds, racial barriers, financial struggles, and skepticism about his unconventional path. Yet, he believed in the promise of opportunity, rising to become the first Black president of the United States. His journey embodies the audacity he describes, a willingness to trust in potential over probability. The quote also speaks to America's complex history. The nation's promise has often been tested by slavery, segregation, and ongoing inequities, yet progress, from abolition to civil rights, has come from those who dared to hope and act. Obama's words extend beyond America, resonating globally with anyone facing personal or societal challenges. They remind us that hope is not naive optimism but a deliberate stance, requiring courage to believe in change when evidence suggests otherwise. It's about seeing the gap between what is and what could be, and choosing to work toward the latter. What lessons can you draw from this quote in your life? First, cultivate resilient hope. When you face setbacks, a failed project, a personal loss, or a societal injustice, don't let despair take root. Instead, choose to believe in possibility. For instance, if you're pursuing a career in a competitive field, the odds may feel overwhelming, but trusting in your potential and taking consistent steps forward can shift the trajectory. Second, act on your hope. Obama's audacity implies action, not just belief. If you hope for a more inclusive community, don't just wish for it, Organize events, start conversations, or volunteer. Your efforts, however small, contribute to the promise of a better world. Third, embrace challenges as part of the journey. The quote acknowledges that odds will be stacked against you, but that's not a reason to give up. When you encounter resistance, whether criticism, failure, or systemic barriers, see it as a test of your audacity. Keep moving forward, knowing that progress often comes through persistence. Additionally, this quote encourages you to redefine hope as strength, not weakness. In a cynical world, hoping can feel vulnerable, but Obama frames it as bold and defiant. If you're advocating for change, be it environmental action, social justice, or personal growth, don't shy away from the audacity of your vision. Share it, even if others doubt you. Finally, connect your hope to a larger purpose. The promise of America can be your own promise, to live authentically, to uplift others, or to leave a positive mark. For example, if you're a teacher, your audacity might be believing in every student's potential, even when they struggle. If you're an entrepreneur, it's trusting that your idea can succeed despite risks. Obama's quote is a reminder that hope is not a luxury, it's a necessity. You don't need perfect conditions to believe in a better future. You need the courage to act despite imperfect ones. Whether you're facing personal doubts or societal challenges, let this audacity guide you. Believe in the promise of what you can achieve, and don't let the odds define your path. You have the power to make hope a reality, one bold step at a time. Quote 3. We don't turn back. We leave no one behind. We pull each other up. This quote from Barack Obama is a stirring testament to resilience, inclusivity, and collective strength, encapsulating his vision for a united society. Its importance lies in its call to action, urging perseverance, solidarity, and mutual support in the face of challenges. Spoken during his 2012 re-election campaign, it reflects his leadership philosophy and resonates as a universal reminder that progress is a shared journey, making it a beacon for communities striving to overcome adversity together. The quote's meaning unfolds in three powerful parts, each carrying profound implications. We don't turn back speaks to unwavering determination. It's a refusal to retreat from challenges, whether personal struggles, societal injustices, or collective goals. Obama invokes a forward march, emphasizing that progress requires persistence, even when the path is steep. The second part, we leave no one behind, is a pledge of inclusivity. It rejects the idea that success belongs only to a few, insisting that true progress lifts everyone, regardless of background, status, or circumstance. This reflects Obama's belief in equity, rooted in his work as a community organizer and his presidency's focus on policies like healthcare reform to bridge gaps. Finally, we pull each other up, is a vibrant image of mutual support. It suggests active, intentional effort to help others rise, not just through charity but through empowerment and collaboration. Together, these phrases paint a picture of a society that moves forward as one, where no one is abandoned, and every hand extends to lift another. The quote's depth becomes clearer in its context. Obama delivered it during a time of economic recovery, political polarization, and global uncertainty. His words countered narratives of division, reminding Americans that their strength lies in unity. They echo historical struggles, like the civil rights movement, where collective action and mutual support drove change, and Obama's own story, rising from modest roots with the help of mentors and community. The quote transcends its American setting, speaking to any group facing hardship. It challenges the individualism that often dominates modern culture, where personal success can overshadow communal responsibility. Instead, Obama champions a worldview where progress is measured not by individual triumphs but by how many are brought along. This is hope in action, not a passive wish, but a commitment to perseverance and solidarity. What lessons can you draw from this quote in your life? First, embrace resilience. When you face obstacles, a career setback, a personal loss, or a daunting goal, don't turn back. Keep moving forward, even if progress feels slow. For example, if you're working toward a degree while juggling responsibilities, let each step, no matter how small, fuel your momentum. Second, prioritize inclusivity. In your workplace, school, or community, ensure no one is left behind. If you notice someone struggling, a colleague who's overwhelmed or a friend who's withdrawn, reach out. Your support, whether through a kind word or a helping hand, can make a difference. Third, actively lift others. Don't just succeed for yourself, help others rise. Mentor a peer, share resources, or advocate for those whose voices are overlooked. If you're part of a team, celebrate collective wins and ensure everyone's contributions are valued. This quote also teaches you to redefine success. It's not about reaching the top alone, but about how many you bring with you. In a competitive world, this might feel counterintuitive, but consider the impact. When you help a classmate understand a concept, you both grow stronger. When you volunteer in your community, you build a network of support that benefits everyone. Additionally, adopt a mindset of collective progress. If you're passionate about a cause, climate action, equality, or education, don't work in isolation. Join others, amplify their efforts, and let their strengths bolster yours. Obama's words remind you that your power multiplies when you pull others up. Finally, this quote inspires courage in tough times. Life will test you with moments that tempt retreat, failure, criticism, or division. But don't turn back. Instead, look around and see who needs your support. By refusing to abandon others and choosing to lift them, you create a ripple effect of hope and change. Whether you're leading a project, nurturing a family, or advocating for justice, embody this ethos, move forward together, leave no one behind, and pull each other up. You have the strength to build a better world, one act of solidarity at a time. Quote 4. Yes, we can. This iconic quote from Barack Obama, the rallying cry of his 2008 presidential campaign, is a succinct yet electrifying declaration of possibility and collective power. Its importance lies in its simplicity and universality, transforming a political slogan into a global anthem for hope, determination, and unity. It galvanized millions, inspiring action and belief in the face of daunting challenges, and remains a timeless call to overcome obstacles together, making it one of the most memorable phrases in modern history. The genius of "Yes, we can" lies in its brevity and depth. At its core, it's an affirmation of belief, not just in individual capability but in the strength of collective will. The word "yes" is a bold rejection of doubt, fear, or resignation, asserting that progress is possible. We emphasizes unity, suggesting that success is not the work of one but of many, bound by a shared purpose. Can is a statement of empowerment, implying that the ability to achieve lies within our grasp if we choose to act. Together, these three words encapsulate Obama's philosophy of grassroots change, rooted in his experience as a community organizer. Spoken during a campaign that faced skepticism, could a relatively unknown senator, the first black candidate with a real shot at the presidency, win? The phrase became a defiant response to naysayers. It resonated with a nation grappling with economic crisis, war, and division, offering a vision of hope that transcended politics. Beyond America, it inspired movements worldwide, from activists fighting for justice to individuals pursuing personal dreams, proving its universal appeal. The quote's meaning deepens when viewed through Obama's lens. His 2008 campaign was built on the idea that ordinary people, united, could reshape history. "Yes, we can" was more than a slogan. It was a challenge to reject cynicism and embrace action. It echoed historical struggles, like the civil rights movements. We shall overcome, while looking forward to a future where collective effort could tackle issues like inequality, climate change, or healthcare access. The phrase also carries an implicit call to responsibility. Possibility exists, but it requires work. Obama's own journey, from a mixed-race child of modest means to the White House, embodied this ethos. He faced odds, racial barriers, political inexperience, and entrenched opposition, yet his belief in "we" fueled his rise. The quote reminds us that change is not a gift from above but a product of shared determination, where every voice, every action counts. What lessons can you draw from this quote in your life? First, embrace possibility. When you face a challenge, a tough career goal, a personal struggle, or a societal issue, don't let doubt win. Say yes to the potential within you. For example, if you're hesitant to start a new venture, remind yourself that you have the capacity to succeed. Second, act collectively. The "we" in Obama's quote is a reminder that you're stronger together. If you're working on a community project, like improving local schools, rally others to join you. Your shared efforts amplify impact. Third, take responsibility for change. Can means the power is yours, but it demands action. If you want to improve your health, don't just wish for it, create a plan, seek support, and stick to it. Similarly, if you're passionate about a cause, like environmental sustainability, don't wait for leaders to act. Start recycling, advocate, or organize. Your actions matter. This quote also teaches you to overcome fear of failure. The road to yes is rarely smooth. You'll face setbacks, criticism, or moments of self-doubt. But Obama's words urge you to persist. If you're studying for a difficult exam and feel overwhelmed, keep going. Each study session brings you closer. Additionally, inspire others. The phrase's infectious energy means your belief can lift those around you. If you're leading a team, share a vision of what's possible to motivate them. Finally, apply. Yes, we can. To big dreams and small moments alike. Whether you're aiming to launch a business or simply mend a strained relationship, believe in your ability to make it happen. Connect with others, share the load, and act. In a world often marked by division or despair, "Yes, we can" is a lifeline. It reminds you that no obstacle is insurmountable when you believe in possibility and work together. You don't need to be a president to embody this spirit. Every step you take, supporting a friend, advocating for change, or pursuing a goal, echoes Obama's call. So say it with conviction: yes, you can. Yes, we can. And then make it happen. Quote 5. The best way to not feel hopeless is to get up and do something. This powerful quote from Barack Obama, delivered during a 2016 speech, is a compelling antidote to despair, urging action as the path to hope. Its importance lies in its practicality and universality, offering a clear, actionable solution to the paralyzing weight of hopelessness. In a world often overwhelmed by challenges, from personal struggles to global crises, this quote inspires by transforming inertia into empowerment, making it a timeless call to rise and act. The quote's meaning is both straightforward and profound. Hopelessness, as Obama suggests, is a state of mind that thrives in passivity. When you feel powerless, whether due to a personal setback, societal injustice, or overwhelming odds, it's easy to sink into despair, believing nothing can change. Obama challenges this by proposing action as the remedy. Get up and do something is a direct, almost urgent command, emphasizing that even small steps can break the cycle of hopelessness. The word "something" is key. It doesn't demand grand gestures but invites any effort, no matter how modest, that moves you forward. This reflects Obama's broader philosophy, rooted in his days as a community organizer, where he saw firsthand how incremental actions, like organizing a neighborhood meeting or advocating for local change, could spark hope and progress. The quote also implies agency. You have the power to shift your perspective and circumstances through action. By doing something, you reclaim control, replacing despair with purpose. This message resonates universally, speaking to anyone who's felt stuck, whether facing unemployment, grief, or the weight of systemic issues like poverty or discrimination. Contextually, Obama's words carry added weight. Spoken during his final year as president, they came at a time of global uncertainty, political polarization, economic recovery, and ongoing conflicts. Yet, his message was not about waiting for leaders or systems to fix things but about individual and collective responsibility. Drawing from his own life, Obama knew the power of action. As a young man navigating racial and economic barriers, he didn't succumb to hopelessness but took steps, studying, organizing, engaging, that led to historic achievements. The quote also echoes broader human struggles, from civil rights activists who march despite danger to everyday people who rebuild after loss. It's a reminder that hope isn't found in outcomes alone but in the act of trying, of refusing to stay still. What lessons can you draw from this quote in your life? First, recognize that action is your weapon against despair. When you feel hopeless, perhaps after a job rejection or a personal failure, don't let inertia take over. Do something, even if it's small. Update your resume, reach out to a contact, or take a walk to clear your mind. These steps restore momentum. Second, start where you are. You don't need a perfect plan or resources to act. If you're concerned about a community issue, like litter in your neighborhood, begin by picking up trash yourself or rallying a few friends. Small actions build hope and often inspire bigger ones. Third, focus on what you can control. Hopelessness often stems from feeling overwhelmed by things beyond your reach, like global crises. Instead, channel your energy into tangible efforts, volunteer, donate, or educate others. If climate change weighs on you, plant a tree or reduce your waste. Your actions matter. Additionally, this quote encourages you to redefine hope through effort. It's not about waiting for a miracle but about creating your own light in the darkness. If you're struggling with a strained relationship, don't just wish for resolution, initiate a conversation or write a letter. The act itself fosters hope, regardless of the outcome. Also, inspire others through your actions. When you get up and do something, whether pursuing a goal or helping a cause, you show those around you that hopelessness can be overcome. If you're a student facing academic pressure, study with a friend and share strategies. Your initiative lifts both of you. Finally, embrace persistence. Action doesn't always yield immediate results, but each step chips away at despair. If you're advocating for change, like better workplace policies, keep speaking up, even if progress is slow. Obama's quote is a lifeline in tough times. It reminds you that hopelessness is not your destiny. You can rewrite your story through action. You don't need to solve every problem at once. Just get up and do something. Whether it's taking a first step toward a dream, supporting a friend, or fighting for justice, your efforts ignite hope for yourself and others. So stand up, move forward, and let your actions prove that you can overcome. Quote 6. In the face of impossible odds, people who love this country can change it. This stirring quote from Barack Obama, delivered during his 2008 presidential campaign, is a powerful testament to the transformative power of passion and perseverance. Its importance lies in its ability to inspire ordinary individuals to confront seemingly insurmountable challenges with courage and conviction, emphasizing that love for one's community or nation can fuel extraordinary change. It remains a rallying cry for those who believe in the potential to reshape their world, no matter the obstacles. The quote's meaning is both profound and empowering. The phrase, "in the face of impossible odds," acknowledges the reality of daunting barriers, whether systemic injustices, economic hardship, or political division, that can make progress feel unattainable. Obama doesn't shy away from this truth but instead highlights the resilience of those who refuse to be defeated by it. The key actors in this quote are people who love this country, a phrase that speaks to a deep, personal commitment to a shared ideal. This love is not blind patriotism but a dedication to the values of justice, equality, and opportunity that define a nation's promise. The assertion that these people can change it is a bold declaration of agency, suggesting that ordinary citizens, driven by passion, have the power to shift the course of history. Obama's words challenge the notion that change is the domain of the powerful. Instead, they place responsibility and potential in the hands of everyday people. Spoken during a campaign that defied expectations, electing the first black president in a nation with a history of racial division, the quote embodies the audacity of hope that defined his message. Delving deeper, the quote reflects Obama's belief in grassroots action, shaped by his early work as a community organizer. He saw how individuals, united by a shared love for their communities, could tackle issues like poverty or discrimination, even when the odds seemed stacked against them. The phrase, "this country," can also be interpreted broadly, extending to any community or cause you hold dear, your hometown, your workplace, or even a global movement. The quote resonates with historical examples, like the abolitionists who fought slavery or the civil rights activists who marched against segregation, all driven by a love for what their country could become. It also speaks to Obama's own journey, overcoming skepticism and barriers to achieve what many deemed impossible. The message is clear: love, paired with action, can move mountains, no matter how immovable they seem. What lessons can you draw from this quote in your life? First, embrace challenges as opportunities. When you face what seems impossible, a career goal, a personal struggle, or a societal issue, don't let the odds intimidate you. If you're passionate about improving your community, like reducing local inequality, let that love drive you to act, even if success feels distant. Second, channel your passion into action. Love for a cause or community isn't enough on its own. You must translate it into tangible efforts. If you care about environmental sustainability, start a recycling initiative or advocate for policy changes. Your commitment gives your actions power. Third, believe in your influence. You don't need wealth or status to make a difference. As a student, parent, or worker, your voice, through voting, organizing, or simply speaking up, can spark change. For example, if you see unfair practices at work, rally colleagues to address them. Your collective effort can shift the culture. This quote also encourages you to redefine impossible. History shows that what seems unattainable often isn't, because people dared to try. If you're pursuing a dream, like launching a business in a tough market, let your love for your vision push you past doubts. Additionally, connect with others who share your passion. The people, in Obama's quote, imply collective action. Join a group, share ideas, or support a cause. Together, you're unstoppable. Finally, stay committed, even when progress is slow. Change against great odds takes time, but every step counts. If you're advocating for social justice, keep educating, protesting, or donating, knowing each action chips away at the impossible. Obama's words are a reminder that you hold the power to change what matters to you, no matter how daunting the challenge. When the odds feel overwhelming, let your love for your community, your values, or your dreams fuel your resolve. You don't need to be a hero, just someone who cares enough to act. So stand up, unite with others, and prove that even the impossible can bend to those who dare to change it. Quote 7. There's not a liberal America and a conservative America. There's the United States of America. This iconic quote from Barack Obama, delivered in his 2004 Democratic National Convention keynote address, is a powerful call for unity that transcends political divides. Its importance lies in its timeless relevance, challenging the polarization that fragments societies and inspiring a vision of shared identity. Spoken by a then little-known senator, it propelled Obama to national prominence and remains a beacon for those seeking to bridge differences, making it a cornerstone of his legacy and a universal plea for togetherness. The quote's meaning is a bold rejection of division in favor of collective identity. By stating there's no liberal America or conservative America, Obama dismantles the idea that ideological differences define separate nations within a nation. Instead, he asserts the existence of a singular United States of America, emphasizing shared values, common goals, and a unified purpose. The word united is deliberate, evoking the nation's name and its foundational aspiration to stand as one despite diversity. At its core, the quote is a call to rise above partisan labels and recognize the humanity that binds people together. In 2004, America was grappling with post-9/11 tensions, a divisive war, and growing political polarization. Obama's words cut through this noise, offering a vision where differences in belief don't fracture but enrich a shared national fabric. Beyond its American context, the quote speaks to any community or group torn by ideological, cultural, or social divides, urging a focus on what unites rather than what separates. Delving deeper, the quote reflects Obama's lifelong commitment to unity, shaped by his diverse background, born to a Kenyan father and a white American mother, raised in Hawaii and Indonesia. His experiences navigating varied perspectives informed his belief that progress depends on finding common ground. The quote also draws on America's history, where moments of unity, like the civil rights movement or responses to national crises, have driven transformative change. Challenges the tribalism that fuels conflict, where people cling to labels at the expense of dialogue. Obama's presidency, from 2009 to 2017, embodied this ethos, as he sought bipartisan solutions on issues like healthcare and economic recovery, even amid fierce opposition. The quote's power lies in its simplicity and optimism. It doesn't deny differences but insists they need not define us. It's a reminder that shared identity, whether as citizens, neighbors, or humans, can be a foundation for collaboration and hope. What lessons can you draw from this quote in your life? First, seek common ground. When you encounter someone with opposing views, whether in politics, at work, or in your family, don't let differences define the relationship. Find shared values, like a desire for fairness or community well-being, and build from there. For example, if you disagree with a colleague on a project approach, focus on your mutual goal of success to find compromise. Second, reject labels that divide. You may identify with certain beliefs, but don't let them box you into an us versus them mindset. If you're discussing a contentious issue, like education reform, listen to others' perspectives without assuming they're the other side. Third, foster unity through action. You can bridge divides by creating opportunities for connection. Organize a community event, like a cleanup or discussion group, where people of different backgrounds collaborate. Your efforts show that unity is possible. This quote also encourages you to approach conflicts with empathy. When divisions arise, say, during a heated family debate, pause and remember you're part of the same family. Ask questions, listen, and share your perspective without judgment. Additionally, champion inclusivity. In your workplace or school, ensure everyone feels part of the we. If someone's excluded due to their views or background, invite them into the conversation. Your inclusion strengthens the whole. Finally, believe in the power of unity to solve problems. Whether tackling a local issue, like improving public spaces, or a personal challenge, like resolving a team conflict, rally others around a shared purpose. Your leadership can turn division into collaboration. Obama's quote is a reminder that you live in a shared world, not a fragmented one. Divisions exist, but they don't have to define you or your communities. By choosing unity over separation, you can build bridges where walls once stood. You don't need to erase differences, just see them as part of a larger whole. So, reach out, listen, and act to create the united community you envision, proving that together, you are stronger than any divide. Quote 8. If you're walking down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you'll make progress. This profound quote from Barack Obama, spoken during a 2011 speech, is a beacon of hope and perseverance, encapsulating the power of steadfast commitment to a worthy goal. Its importance lies in its universal applicability, offering encouragement to anyone facing a long, challenging journey, whether personal, professional, or societal. It inspires resilience by affirming that progress, though sometimes slow, is inevitable for those who stay the course, making it a timeless reminder of the value of persistence. The quote's meaning is layered with wisdom and optimism. The right path suggests a direction aligned with purpose, values, or truth, whether it's pursuing a meaningful career, advocating for justice, or nurturing personal growth. Obama acknowledges that choosing this path is only the first step. The real challenge lies in keep walking, a phrase that evokes steady, determined effort in the face of obstacles. The word, eventually, is crucial, tempering expectations of instant success and preparing us for a journey that may be arduous or prolonged. Yet, it's paired with the certainty of you'll make progress, a promise that persistence will yield results. This reflects Obama's pragmatic idealism. He recognizes the difficulties of change but believes in the power of consistent action. Spoken during his presidency, Amid economic recovery and global challenges, the quote resonated with a nation seeking hope, urging citizens to stay committed to shared goals like equality and prosperity. Its broader appeal lies in its applicability to any endeavor, from personal aspirations to collective movements, reminding us that progress is a process, not a moment. Delving deeper, the quote draws on Obama's own life. As a young man navigating racial and economic barriers, he chose paths, education, community organizing, public service, that were far from easy. His rise to the presidency, against formidable odds, embodies the idea that staying on the right path, even through setbacks, leads to breakthroughs. The quote also echoes historical struggles, like the civil rights movement, where activists persisted through decades of resistance to achieve landmark victories. It challenges the modern craving for quick fixes, urging patience and discipline in a world that often prioritizes instant gratification. Obama's words suggest that the right path isn't always the easiest. It may demand sacrifice or courage, but it's the one that aligns with your deepest convictions. The certainty of, eventually, offers hope, assuring us that every step forward counts, even if the destination feels distant. What lessons can you draw from this quote in your life? First, choose your path wisely. Reflect on what matters to you, whether it's a career that fulfills you, a cause like environmental justice, or personal growth, and commit to it. If you're unsure, take time to align your actions with your values. Second, embrace persistence. When you face obstacles, a failed exam, a rejected proposal, or slow progress in a community project, don't give up. Keep walking, even if it's one small step at a time. For example, if you're training for a marathon, stick to your schedule, knowing each run builds strength. Third, trust the process. Progress may not be immediate, but every effort moves you closer. If you're working to improve your mental health, celebrate small victories, like a day of mindfulness, as steps toward healing. This quote also teaches you to redefine success. It's not about reaching the end quickly, but about staying true to your path. If you're advocating for policy change, like better education funding, don't be discouraged by slow bureaucracy. Each meeting or petition adds momentum. Additionally, stay resilient through doubt. The right path can feel lonely or uncertain, but trust that your commitment will pay off. If you're building a business, keep refining your plan despite early losses. Progress will come. Finally, inspire others by your example. When you keep walking, whether toward a degree, a healthier lifestyle, or social good, you show those around you that perseverance works. Share your journey to motivate friends or colleagues facing their own challenges. Obama's quote is a reminder that you hold the power to shape your future, one determined step at a time. The right path may be tough, with twists and setbacks, but if you keep walking, progress is certain. You don't need to sprint or leap, just stay true to your purpose. Whether you're chasing a dream, fighting for change, or becoming your best self, let this truth guide you. Every step counts, and eventually you'll get there. So keep walking, and watch your efforts transform your world. Quote 9. We are the change we seek. This powerful quote from Barack Obama, delivered during his 2008 presidential campaign, is a bold declaration of personal and collective responsibility, encapsulating his vision of grassroots empowerment. Its importance lies in its transformative message. Change is not an external force or a distant promise, but something we embody through our actions and choices. It inspired millions to take ownership of their role in shaping the future, making it a timeless call to agency and action that resonates far beyond its political origins. The quote's meaning is both profound and empowering. By stating, "We are the change," Obama places the power and responsibility for transformation squarely in the hands of individuals and communities. The "we" emphasizes collective action, suggesting that change is not the work of a single hero or distant authority but of many, united by a shared purpose. The phrase, "the change we seek," acknowledges our aspirations, whether for personal growth, social justice, or a better world, and asserts that these desires are not separate from us but are realized through our efforts. This challenges the tendency to wait for others, leaders, institutions, or ideal conditions to solve problems. Instead, Obama insists that you are the solution, and your actions, however small, are the building blocks of progress. Spoken during a campaign that defied conventional expectations, the quote became a mantra for a movement driven by ordinary people, volunteers, voters, activists, who believed they could reshape history. Its universal appeal lies in its adaptability, speaking to anyone yearning for change, from personal ambitions to global challenges. Delving deeper, the quote reflects Obama's philosophy, rooted in his experience as a community organizer. He saw how everyday people, by organizing, advocating, or simply showing up, could drive meaningful change in their neighborhoods. His own journey, from a young man of mixed heritage facing societal barriers to the first Black U.S. president, embodies this idea. He was the change he sought, not by waiting for permission but by acting with purpose. The quote also draws on historical movements, like the Civil Rights era, where ordinary citizens, marchers, students, organizers, became the change they envisioned, dismantling segregation through collective effort. It counters cynicism, which often dismisses individual actions as insignificant, and instead affirms that every step forward counts. Whether addressing climate change, inequality, or personal struggles, the quote reminds us that change begins within us, through the choices we make and the actions we take. What lessons can you draw from this quote in your life? First, take ownership of change. If you want a better community, career, or relationship, don't wait for someone else to make it happen. You are the change, start by acting. For example, if you seek a more inclusive workplace, propose initiatives or start conversations to foster diversity. Second, recognize the power of small actions. You don't need to overhaul the world overnight. If you're passionate about reducing waste, begin by cutting your own plastic use or organizing a local cleanup. Each step embodies the change you seek. Third, collaborate with others. The "we" in Obama's quote highlights the strength of collective effort. Join a group, share your vision, or support a cause. Your impact grows when you work together. If you're advocating for better schools, team up with parents and teachers to amplify your voice. This quote also encourages you to align your actions with your aspirations. If you seek personal growth, like becoming more confident, embody that change by practicing public speaking or stepping out of your comfort zone. Additionally, reject passivity. When you feel stuck, perhaps facing a societal issue like poverty, don't assume it's someone else's problem. Volunteer, donate, or educate others. Your involvement is the change. Finally, inspire by example. When you act as the change, whether pursuing a dream or fighting for justice, you motivate others to do the same. If you're a student pushing for mental health resources, your advocacy can spark a movement among peers. Obama's quote is a reminder that you are not a bystander in your own story or the world's. The change you seek, whether a fairer society, a fulfilling life, or a healthier planet, lives within you. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or a savior. You are enough. Every choice you make, every action you take, brings that change to life. So embrace your power, unite with others, and become the change you seek. The future is yours to shape, starting now. Quote 10. Hope is not blind optimism. It's the belief that our actions matter. This powerful statement by Barack Obama encapsulates a profound truth about the nature of hope and its role in driving meaningful change. It is significant because it challenges the misconception that hope is passive or naive, instead presenting it as an active, purposeful force rooted in the conviction that individual efforts can shape the future. In a world often fraught with challenges, this quote inspires resilience and agency, urging people to take responsibility for their role in creating a better tomorrow. At its core, Obama's quote redefines hope as a dynamic and grounded belief system. Unlike blind optimism, which might ignore reality or expect positive outcomes without effort, hope as Obama describes it is pragmatic and action-oriented. It acknowledges difficulties but refuses to be paralyzed by them. It is the courage to act despite uncertainty, the conviction that even small steps forward can ripple outward to create substantial impact. This perspective aligns with Obama's own journey as a leader who navigated complex political landscapes, from community organizing in Chicago to serving as the 44th President of the United States. His words reflect a philosophy forged in the face of adversity, where hope becomes a deliberate choice to engage with the world rather than retreat from it. It is not about wishing for miracles but about trusting that purposeful actions, whether in policy, activism, or personal growth, can yield results. This understanding of hope carries universal resonance. It speaks to anyone who has ever faced daunting odds, whether in pursuing personal goals, advocating for justice, or rebuilding after setbacks. For instance, consider the civil rights activists of the 1960s, whose hope was not a passive dream but a fierce commitment to march, speak, and organize despite systemic oppression. Their actions, grounded in the belief that change was possible, reshaped society. Similarly, in today's context, hope drives scientists tackling climate change, educators uplifting underserved communities, and individuals striving to overcome personal hardships. Obama's words remind us that hope is not a fleeting emotion but a disciplined mindset that fuels perseverance and collective progress. What lessons can you draw from this quote to apply in your own life? First, recognize that hope is a choice you make through your actions. When faced with challenges, be it a difficult career transition, a strained relationship, or a societal issue like inequality, don't wait for circumstances to improve on their own. Instead, identify one concrete step you can take, no matter how small. For example, if you're passionate about environmental conservation, start by reducing your own waste or volunteering for a local cleanup. These actions, though modest, reinforce your belief that change is possible and build momentum over time. Obama's quote encourages you to see yourself as an agent of change, not a bystander. Second, embrace the power of persistence. Hope, as Obama defines it, thrives on consistency. You may not see immediate results, but every effort counts. If you're working toward a goal, such as learning a new skill or advocating for a cause, commit to showing up daily, even when progress feels slow. The belief that your actions matter sustains you through setbacks and fuels long-term success. Consider the story of an entrepreneur who faces repeated failures but persists, trusting that each attempt brings them closer to their vision. Your hope, rooted in action, becomes a source of strength. Finally, inspire others by living this philosophy. Your actions, grounded in hope, can motivate those around you. If you approach challenges with a mindset that your efforts matter, you create a ripple effect. Share your journey, whether through conversations, mentorship, or community involvement. By demonstrating that hope is active and impactful, you encourage others to take their own steps forward. In a workplace, for instance, your initiative to improve team collaboration can inspire colleagues to contribute ideas, fostering a culture of shared purpose. In essence, Obama's quote is a call to action. It reminds you that hope is not a passive wish but a powerful belief that your choices and efforts shape the world. By acting with intention, persisting through challenges, and inspiring others, you embody the true essence of hope. In a time when cynicism can feel pervasive, this mindset empowers you to create meaningful change, one step at a time. Let this belief guide you, and watch how your actions transform not only your life but also the world around you. Barack Obama's words are more than just quotes. They're a call to action, a reminder of our shared humanity, and a beacon of hope in turbulent times. His legacy as a leader who championed equality, resilience, and unity continues to inspire generations. These 10 quotes capture his vision for a better world, urging us to take responsibility for change and to believe in our collective power. As you reflect on his words, let them ignite your passion to make a difference. Keep pushing forward because, as Obama said, "We are the ones we've been waiting for."